29 degrees in Antwerp and great conditions for the triathletes. It was a dramatic day of racing in the men's sprint distance race at the ITU World Cup in Antwerp. Number 1, Hayden Wilde, was expected to do great things, but in the water there was only one man who got all the focus. Richard Varga was his name, and as he is known, he was the man to lead it out, thrashing it out in the water and taking a familiar lead. Richard Varga led out the field, and he brought with him 3 other swimmers, including Australia's Doherty, Spain's Gonzalez Garcia, and Germany's Breinlinger. Varga's dream situation was having a few triathletes with him at the end of the swim, and it turned out as planned. But in the end, however, they didn't hold that lead. When they got onto the bike, there were a number of them who managed to gather themselves as a lead group, and they thought they would get away. It wasn't to be. A lead group of 4 managed for the first lap to stay ahead. Alas, a group of 15 to 20 triathletes managed to reel them back in. And now there was a lead group of 15 to 20, and it was all going well until this happened. A crash on the second lap. The cobblestones of Antwerp turned the race upside down. Varga, after all his work on the swim, was now relegated to chasing and just getting through the race. A new lead group formed, and it was a case of those that did and those that didn't get caught up in that crash. The ones that got away, they formed a new lead group. And within that, a breakaway with 4 triathletes burst away, gaining a few seconds, until Norway's Andre Espedal broke away in his own a little bit later on. Espedal leading it out, coming into the last lap and coming into the transition. He had a 15-second gap coming into the run, and things were looking very good for the Norwegian. Espedal got caught, however. Luxembourg's Zacchaeus was the first to swallow him up. In the end, he was minutes behind the leaders. Not Espedal's day. Zacchaeus himself also got swallowed up by a group of chasing men. And then there were 7. Amongst those 7 were a couple of pre-race favourites. New Zealand's Taylor Reid, Kevin McDowell, Breinlinger and Garcia, and Chile's Diego Mayo. All 3 of those were quick out of the water and were still there. And then we saw some new faces. Switzerland's Salvesberg and Sweden's Gabriel Sander. And it was Sander that made a decisive move later on in the race. With just 500 metres to go, Gabriel Sander made a decisive attack that left Garcia and McDowell struggling. He opened up the gap, made great strides going into the finish line, and it looked like he was going to win his first ever ITU World Cup. However, with 100 metres to go, things were to change somewhat. Sander's energy began to get a little bit lower, and it was Taylor Reid from New Zealand who made the attack in the end. He threw everything at Sander, finishing. Unfortunately for Sander, it was Reid who won, but Sander was delighted. Second position was his first ever podium. Pre-race favourite Taylor Reid, the winner Gabriel Sander from Sweden, second. Another new face on the podium was in third place, Diego Moya, delighted with his third place. And that was how the drama unfolded in Antwerp for the men.
Yeah, so I'm a bit lost for words. As you can see, I'm shaking because I just had to put everything in that to come past Gabriel, and with about 300 metres to go, I was sitting in second. I was just like, no, not like last year, I'm not coming second again. And yeah, I just chucked everything I could into the last 50 metres and opened up my sprint a bit later than last year, and it worked to perfection. And yeah, last 50 metres just pretended that I had yellow jeans coming after me again and just sent it all the way to the finish. Had a cheeky look back to see that I had it, and I just, oh yeah, amazing. Hopefully everyone back home is awake and saw that, and yeah, I think they'll be up the rest of the night.